Hello, welcome back to Sproutin' Season. Tonight we're going to be making a Neapolitan pizza, or try to anyways. Just kind of wanted to share, our journey and trying to learn how to make pizza as well. So, wanted to let you guys know right now I got my area prepped up. It's ready to go. I have all my sides and everything that I'm going to use for this pizza. I did go ahead and make the pizza dough here yesterday, because you do need 24 hours to let this sit. And basically what you're going to want to use to make this is a 00 flour. For every 1 cup of 00 flour, you can get a 10 to 12 inch pizza out of it. So I went ahead and used like 3 cups. You want to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon of yeast. Instant, it doesn't matter if it's instant or the other one. You're gonna want to use about 3/4 tablespoon of sugar and about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. Okay, and this is for about 3 cups. So that's what we went with, 3 cups. So you can kind of measure that and figure out just how much you want to make or whatnot. But you need to mix it with water, which is about 1.75 cups of water. And this is what you'll get. You'll get a real jiggly dough out of it. And you're going to want to let this sit up overnight for 24 hours. So we're going to go ahead and start making our pizza, start separating them into balls. Each pizza probably weighs around 200 to 250 grams. We're just gonna eyeball it. Like I said, I mean, this is not anything professional. It's just, we're making a pizza, that's it, and the way it comes out is the way it comes out. But I promise you, it'll be way better than what you can buy in the store if you can do this at home, and cheaper, and you can make it exactly with the ingredients that you like. So we go with non-GMO, all USDA organic ingredients. Even our vegetables, all our vegetables are USDA organic. The flour, everything. Now maybe the sauce, we just use a regular Rayo's homemade sauce. This is a non-GMO sauce. It's pretty good. It's probably the best one I found out there in a jar. You can make your own with peeled roasted tomatoes and just make your own. We're just using a basic Walmart mozzarella, nothing big on that. And we're using a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And we don't have any basil, a fresh basil or anything like that, so we're going to go ahead and go with the organic Italian seasoning. This is really good right here. This has parsley, oregano, basil. It has everything in it. So this one here is really good. So in order to make your pizza, we're using an organic semolina, which is what we're going to use instead of flour to work our dough. Okay, and the reason why we use semolina instead of white flour is because white flour will burn when it's on high heat. Okay, when you cook this pizza, keep in mind, like right now we're cooking in just a regular convection oven. We're at the max 550 degrees, and we're using a pizza stone in there. So you're gonna want your oven to be maxed out because it takes high heat to make pizza. So but we use the semolina, and that's what we keep the dough from sticking. So let's get started. So we're going to take our dough here, which we had set up for 24 hours, and we're going to go ahead and take it all and get it poured out. It's not like dough that you make with like bread. It's a lot more watery, and you're not going to knead it. Okay, that's one of the things that we were doing at the beginning, was kneading a lot. The reason is because organic flour has gluten in it. Okay, and the gluten tightens up. So the more you work it, the more it fights back against you. So you need to let it relax. So right now it's very relaxed. We're gonna work the dough, but we're gonna work it with a spatula type. And what we're gonna do here is go ahead and put some semolina on here as well. And that is to lift this up, and we're going to start just moving it around. See how it didn't stick? Just scoop up that semolina, and you just want to work it. You don't want to knead it with your hands. Okay? And that's all you want to do. You just want to work it. Okay? Now once you get it to where you get it into a nice ball, it doesn't have to be perfect. But, try to keep your hands off of it as much as possible at this point. Okay? And all this does is just work the dough. And that's all we're doing, we're just working it. Okay, now once we get it to where it's a nice ball, go ahead and separate your dough into your dough balls. So we know half here. We're going to break it up into thirds. So I'm just going to chop that up like that. And I'll probably put a little bit more in there. So if you start seeing that it's real tacky, you can add a little more semolina to it. But try not to go real heavy with it. Just kind of use what you got. Just flour your whole board with it. Okay, so we know that's going to be one pizza there. And then we'll just go ahead and separate this one out right there, and just get them in the balls. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, and unless you're a professional pizza maker,
which we're not.
We're not. So we do this because one, it tastes better than the store-bought stuff or restaurant stuff. Well, I can't say it tastes better, but it saves you money, and I can make this pizza. I know exactly what's going in it. Okay? I know it's all organic. I know everything I put in it, and that's why I choose to.
I think it tastes pretty similar to.
It's very
professional.
Similar. It's very. It's good. It's well worth going through all of this to make your pizza. Okay, so now what we want to do, remember when you start working this, you start working these pizza balls, now the gluten's going to be very high. Okay, so if you try to flatten this out and make a pizza, it's going to fight you every chance. It will fight you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let it rest. Let that gluten relax.
For how long?
About anywhere from 30 minutes, 45 minutes is fine. Okay, so after you get your dough balls separated into how many pizzas you want to make, you need to let it relax again. Like I said, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So what you're going to do is want to cover each one of these up, and to keep them from drying out, of course, right? So just use some press and seal or saran wrap or anything like that, and just cover it up. And that'll just keep it from drying out. While it's sitting and resting, the yeast in it will keep activating and it will start rising warm. So the reason why you want to do this is because we've been working the dough. We've been working it, make sure it's nice and all the ingredients, everything's all nice and mixed up in there. And we separated them, so we've been working it. So by working it, the gluten in it tightens up, the enzymes tighten up in the flour. And if I would have taken this ball and put it over here and start trying to press it out, it would fight back, it would be elastic. So that's why you want to let it rest again after you've separated your dough balls. So we're just going to let it separate, and let it sit for 30-45 minutes. It's been roughly about 30 minutes. What we're going to do is look at our dough and go ahead and leave the other balls covered. We're just going to work on one at a time. So there you go. We're going to pull that off and go ahead and get you a little bit of semolina and put it on top. That way you can move it. You're going to move it to another board. Okay. So just a little bit of semolina on everything, and that keeps it from sticking. And what we're going to do is move it over here, just like that. And we're going to start working our ball. Okay. Just like that, and get it covered in the semolina. And then we're going to go ahead and start forming it. So when you start forming the pizza, you want to start in the center and push it out, okay? The reason is what's going to happen is it's going to push the air to the outer crust of the pizza dough. Okay, you don't want to touch the outer crust because that's what you want to rise. If you start pushing on the outer part of it, it's not going to rise. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go ahead and start pushing and get you some semolina and just start pushing it out. Okay, and remember, this is going to make about a 10-inch pizza. It ain't got to be perfect. Okay, and you may want to spread it and just turn it. And just keep pushing it out. Try not to touch the edges. Okay.
See, the first time, remember when we did it, it was fighting us, and it kept shrinking back.
Yeah, it would fight you. So that's about all you're going to get out of it right there. Now you want to lift it up and just kind of take off all the semolina, just like that, and then go ahead and set it on your paddle. What you're gonna
is that wax paper? Or parchment paper?
It's parchment paper. And we are on a pizza paddle. So get yourself a pizza paddle. They're not much. Whatever size pizza you like normally making, they make them in different sizes. We got a 12-inch. Okay, and go ahead and load it up on here. Unless you're really good at launching pizzas and pulling them out on the thing without burning. You may not need a parchment paper, but we're using it because we're not that good at it. So we're going to go ahead and start dressing out our pizza now. But remember, try to shake off as much of that semolina as possible. And like I said, we're using the Rayos. Okay.
And also, we don't want to put too much.
Yeah, and another
toppings,
thing
right?
is on these pizzas, you don't want to overload them. You know, they just won't cook right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a cheese pizza. We're gonna start off with that. How about that?
That sounds good.
So right there, we put our sauce. We're gonna go to our organic Italian seasoning. Get you some of this stuff. It's really good. And just go ahead and sprinkle it onto the sauce, just like that. And then we're gonna go with some Parmesan cheese. You know, if you want to get the finely shredded stuff, that's fine too. You know, and just dress it out how you want it, but just try not to use too much.
And that Parmesan cheese is the shaved, correct?
Right. Okay. So now we're gonna go with the mozzarella. Okay. Just like that. Remember, it melts, so it'll do its thing. Just like that.
And why do you use the parchment paper?
The parchment paper is so you can load it and unload it easily. Once you get better at it, we're still learning. So once you get better at it, you'll be able to load the pizza, drag it from your workstation onto the paddle, and you'll be able to launch it right onto the pizza stone without any of the toppings spilling or anything sticking or anything like that. It's just a lot easier just to have it on here. So now we're gonna go ahead and load it right inside, and it's a lot easier. See, it just slides right off.
Oh, okay.
Just like that. And close it up and let it cook. Usually it takes about 10 minutes. 10 minutes on a 500, 550. Remember, if you're at 500, 550 degrees Fahrenheit on your oven, your pizza stone's gonna be like, it's gonna be a lot hotter. It's probably close to 8. It usually takes between 800 and 1,000 degrees to cook a homemade pizza. That's why you see pizza houses have brick ovens. They can create a lot of high heat with logs. They just put more wood in it, and the more wood they put in it, the higher the heat, of course. And the same thing with electric ovens, like if you go to your local Pizza Hut or something like that. But all pizza has to be cooked on high heat. It has to be, unless you got something that's pre-cooked, frozen in a box, something you can just throw in it at 300 degrees for 10-15 minutes, then, you know, but we're talking homemade, raw. Everything has to be cooked on high heat. So, all right, we'll see you when it's done. Okay, so the pizza's been cooking for about 10-12 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out now. So when you do this, make sure you have your pizza paddle, and it's kind of hard to do it with mitts on, so just be careful. I usually just grab the parchment paper and kind of pull it back. Like I said, once you start getting good at it, you can be able to scoop it right up and be able to, you know, without it falling off the pizza stone or anything like that. So let's go ahead and grab it. Lift it up. And there you go. Right there. When you use the semolina, it keeps the crust from burning. So that's why it kind of looks like that. But if you look at it and listen, it's got that crust to it and it's chewy on the inside.
Yummy.
So that's what you want. And this is the cheese. We're gonna go ahead and get started on our next pizza. But if you're cooking multiple pizzas, make sure that first one's done, it's complete, before you start making the other one, because you don't want to dress out a pizza and let it sit. Okay? As soon as you dress it out, you want to be able to launch it into the oven. So we're going to go ahead and cut the pizza. You can get one of these too off Amazon. You can get the paddle, you can get the pizza cutter, you can get the parchment paper already pre-cut and everything, to your determined size, whatever size pizza you want to make. So we went with a 10-12 inch, so that's what we got. So we're going to go ahead and cut it now. Just like that. And you can hear the crust, it's crispy.
Yeah.
Right there. And there you go. There's the bottom. Right there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start the second pizza now. So like I said, just kind of move it over and just lift off the one you're gonna use. Okay? Keep your other pizza dough covered. Try to keep it covered at all times. And then we're gonna use some semolina again. Okay? And that just keeps it from sticking. Okay? Just like that. And we'll just get it transferred over onto the semolina. Okay? Just like that. And we're going to go ahead and just fold it until you got a nice pizza, a ball. Just like that. And start pressing it out. Okay.
So you don't want to work it too much.
You don't want to work it too much. You want to try to get it in one shot. So make sure you got enough semolina on it.
Because the more you work it, then...
The more you work it, the more it fights back.
Right.
So
that means it'll shrink back on you.
Yeah. It gets real elastic. And just push it out. And it's actually pretty manageable like this. So you just go ahead and kind of stretch it. And try to stay away from touching the edges. Just like that. If it doesn't come out a perfect circle, it doesn't matter. It all goes down the same pipe, right? And then take it, and you want to get all the semolina off of it. And get our...
And remember, practice makes perfect.
Right. So just kind of... I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect.
That's true.
There. And there's your dough. Hey, we're just all real people here, man. We're not professionals or anything. It's just one personal household to another. So that's what we're doing here.
And it's fun doing this.
Yeah, get your whole family involved in it. Your kids,
And it saves money, and you know what's going in it.
Yeah, and you know what's going in your food. And nowadays, I mean, come on, man. Have you looked at Pizza Hut's? They have honey pepperoni pizza. They drizzle honey all over the pizza. They use an aerosol can with flavor in it, and they spray the crust I mean, you're getting nothing but chemicals. You're getting nothing but GMOs.
And is it even real honey?
Yeah, that's another thing. So go ahead and this time we're gonna make a it like a supreme pizza. So remember, get you some of this stuff here. It's really good on the pizza. It makes it pop. So.
And the vegetables that you're using, that's enough to make 2 pizzas out of it, right?
Yeah. And we'll do the same thing again. We're going to go with Parmesan. Parmesan makes it pop too. You can't have pizza without Parmesan. Parmigiano Reggiano. I think that's how you say it properly. It's not okay. Parmesan. Parmesan is how Americans say it. So I'm going to go with... and you can get, you can probably get you some better high quality mozzarella. That's fine. Just whatever you want to put on. We are going to go with some hamburger.
So he made that ahead of time.
Yeah, just fry you up some hamburger, or you can fry you up some bacon. We don't use pork, so we don't eat pork. So you can get you some turkey bacon. You can make it however you want. Put some beef on it. Here's our sides. We're going to go with a little bit of red onion on it.
So see, we don't have a lot of
some
veggies,
olives.
And that's going to be enough for 2 pizzas.
Yeah. Some olives. Some green peppers. Some mushroom.
I love me some mushrooms.
We're going to go with some red and yellow pepper. Just like that. And we will go with some spinach leaves. You can go with basil. You can go with whatever you have. It's a pizza. So that's what it looks like. Dressed out. And we're going to go ahead and launch it. Also put a little bit of olive oil on it.
Okay.
So we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it, and that, not much, just...
What is that for? Why do you put...
Just for flavor.
Okay.
All the high-end places put it on there, so why not at home? Just like that. And we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Just a quick tip. When you are forming your pizza and flattening it out and everything, and you start trying to shake off all the excess flour or semolina, I prefer you guys to use the semolina because flour will burn. Sometimes you'll get tears in it. If they're very small holes, you can kind of patch that up, just kind of move the dough over it. But if you get tears, you're going to need to put that back into a dough ball and fold it up real well and let it sit for another 30 minutes and let it relax again and then form it back out. Okay, just a quick tip. So not every time it's gonna come out perfect. You may have some tears, especially when you're first starting out. But it's fun and you'll get used to it.
It takes patience.
Yeah, just buy you a big bag of flour and just of pizza flour and just practice and just make pizzas. Make them. You'll get it. You'll get it down. It's not that hard. And like I said, this is probably maybe our 10th pizza we've made. So we're still new at all this. I mean, before you know it, you'll be able to start slinging them around on your hands and getting it just
like a
right.
pro.
Yeah, like a pro. Hopefully we'll get like that. But like I said, this is just from our personal kitchen to yours. We're being realistic about everything. We're not professionals. When you watch professional videos, they make it look very easy, and it's another ball game. So hopefully that
just
helps.
have fun with it.
Yeah, just have fun with it, and you'll get it. It's been about 10-12 minutes. Let's go ahead and pull this pizza out. Let's see what it looks like. So there you go, guys.
Yummy.
Right there. As you can see, the crust on here, it's crispy
And chewy on the inside.
and chewy on the inside. That's what you want. And I promise you, it's just as good as any of your pizza houses that you go to. And you can do this right at home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. We'll try to leave the ingredients in the description box. But it's pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of time and work. The main goal is to have enough semolina or flour, whatever you're going to use. I prefer you guys use the semolina. It works a lot better. It keeps it from burning. And have patience. All right? We'll see you on the next one.